You can spend months planning and paying for your dream Disney vacation, but did you know there are surprising ways to get booted out of the most magical place on Earth? We're going to save you from embarrassing mishaps and wasted tickets by revealing 15 peculiar rules that could get you escorted off property. After dozens of trips to Walt Disney World, years of combing through official guidelines, and lots of conversations with cast members, I've learned the small things that can make or break your day in the parks. Here's what you'll gain: the insider knowledge to stay on Mickey's good side and avoid getting trespassed for something as innocent as wearing the wrong shoes. Miss even one of these, and it could quietly ruin your vacation. Or not so quietly. Ready? Let's dive in. Number 1. The unspoken courtesy rule. Our first point isn't about a specific object you can't bring, it's about how you behave. In late 2022, Disney quietly updated their guest courtesy policy, and it's surprisingly strict. The policy states that guests must always remember to treat others with respect, kindness, and compassion, and warns that those who don't may be asked to leave the resort. That's right, being rude to cast members or fellow guests just isn't frowned upon, it can get you kicked out. I've seen people lose their cool in a hot crowd on Main Street, and security arrived before they could finish yelling. Disney is serious about creating a safe, family-friendly atmosphere, so any form of harassment, shouting, or threatening behavior can result in removal. The takeaway? Keep your cool. If the Florida sun is making you cranky, find a shaded spot, drink some water, and take a breath. Remember, cast members are working hard to make your day magical. A kind word or a smile goes a long way. Now, let's keep going. The next rule could change your wardrobe plans entirely. Number 2. Going too far dressing like your favorite character. It may seem harmless to wear a full Ariel gown or Darth Vader suit to the parks, but Disney considers it a safety risk. Official guidelines prohibit guests aged 14 or older from wearing costumes or masks in theme parks and water parks. The reason? Disney wants to ensure guests can distinguish between official characters and other visitors, and they need to control how characters interact with guests. There are a few exceptions, such as Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party, Disney Villains After Hours, and Run Disney events. But on a regular day, adults in full costumes will be turned away. I once saw a high school graduate show up in a full-length gown. She had to trek back to her hotel because the hem dragged on the ground, and Disney prohibits clothing that drags. If you want to show your love for a character, try Disney bounding, using everyday clothing in the color palette of your favorite princess or hero. It's subtle, stylish, and totally within the rules. And yes, that full Chewbacca mask, save it for Comic-Con. Number 3. Too young to ride solo. You might not think about age restrictions when you're planning your visit, but Disney has a firm company-wide rule. Guests under 14 years old cannot enter the parks without someone aged 14 or older. This isn't about keeping kids out, it's a strict safety policy to ensure younger guests always have a responsible party nearby in these massive, high-traffic areas. Interestingly, there's a second tier to this rule that catches people off guard. While you need to be 14 to walk through the front gates, you only have to be 7 years old to physically board an attraction by yourself. This means if you're a family with a 10-year-old, they can conquer Space Mountain solo while you wait at the exit, but they still can't rope drop the park without you. I've seen teens try to game the system by splitting from their parents before the turnstiles, only to be stopped by security for looking a little too young to be flying solo. If you're sending your kids with friends, double check that at least one person in that group is 14 or older and listed on the reservation to avoid a very awkward and very short stay at the gate. On my early visits, my friends and I always designated a group leader who was over 14. This person wasn't just the entry pass, they handled the tickets, managed our lightning lane reservations, and acted as the point person if we ever had to talk to a cast member. It gave us a sense of freedom while keeping everyone safe, and, more importantly, keeping us within the rules so we didn't get the boot before lunch. Number 4. Backstage curiosity will cost you. Disney World is masterfully designed to keep the magic in front of you, but that means the parks are also full of mysterious, plain-colored doors marked cast members only. It is incredibly tempting to want to peek behind the curtain to see how the sausage is made, but you absolutely have to resist that urge. Unauthorized access to any backstage area is strictly prohibited, and Disney security does not play around. They will trespass you immediately, which often results in a permanent lifetime ban from every Disney park on the planet. So if there's one on Mars, you're good to go, I guess. As the experts at the Disney food blog often warn, sneaky backstage is the single most effective way to lose your park privileges in record time. And here's the kicker. It doesn't even have to be a hidden door. Simply stepping over a "please stay behind the rope" barrier to snap a unique photo for your Instagram counts as trespassing in their eyes. You have to remember that these backstage areas aren't just secret hallways. They are active, high-risk operational zones. We're talking about massive moving vehicles, heavy maintenance equipment, and thousands of employees rushing to do their jobs. It's a major safety hazard for an untrained guest to be wandering around back there. Number 5. Photography faux pas. We all love capturing those magical moments, but did you know there are specific photography rules that can lead to an immediate expulsion? Disney strictly prohibits commercial photography, unauthorized filming, and the use of flash on dark attractions where it ruins the experience for everyone else. The Disney food blog even highlights taking certain photographs as a top way to get banned. Specifically, if you're trying to snap photos of backstage areas or sensitive security checkpoints where cameras are explicitly forbidden. The hardware you use matters just as much as what you're shooting. Selfie sticks, handheld extension poles, and even large flags or banners are banned park-wide. These aren't just annoying, they are genuine safety risks that can strike ride machinery or injure nearby guests. I once personally witnessed a family trying to film an entire coaster using a long extension pole. A cast member actually had to e-stop the ride and escort them out for endangering the other passengers. As for flying a drone, that's a massive no-go. Disney parks are federally designated no-fly zones, and launching a drone will result in a very swift meeting with security and likely law enforcement. To keep your vacation magical, keep your gear compact, respect the no-flash signs on dark rides, and if you truly want high-end professional shots, stick to the official PhotoPass photographers who know all the best angles. If you thought costumes and selfies were the weirdest ways to get kicked out, you are dead wrong. One of the next rules involves a secret code word Disney staff use for a cleanup job you won't believe. Stick around, you need to hear this. Number 6. Giving false information to access services. Disney's Disability Access Service, or DAS, is a vital tool designed to help guests who truly struggle with traditional standby lines due to a developmental disability. However, attempting to lie or fudge the details of your condition to obtain this pass is one of the fastest ways to get a permanent lifetime ban. Disney recently updated their official policy to be crystal clear. If they determine any statement made during the DAS application process is untrue, you aren't just kicked out for the day, you are permanently barred from both Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort for life. Additionally, any active park tickets, annual passes, or costly add-ons you've purchased will be immediately forfeited without a single cent of a refund. In the past, there were even high-profile scandals involving wealthy families hiring undercover guides with disabilities just to bypass the crowds. These days, Disney has tightened the screws with a new virtual interview process conducted by healthcare professionals. The bottom line, if you genuinely need assistance, follow the official channels and be honest about your specific needs during your video chat with a cast member. But whatever you do, don't try to game a system that is meant to provide accessibility for those who truly need it. It's not just a moral failing, it's a one-way ticket to never seeing Mickey again. Number 7. Noisemakers. Leave the whistles at home. We've all seen those birthday groups with whistles and horns at baseball games, but Disney is not the place for them. The property rules explicitly prohibit horns, whistles, large megaphones, and other artificial noisemakers. Mental Floss lists these among the items that can get you banned. Disney strives to maintain a controlled sound environment so that shows, announcements, and music can be enjoyed by everyone. Excessive noise can disrupt other guests and even animals, especially at Animal Kingdom. If you want to celebrate a birthday or special occasion, there are plenty of Disney-approved ways. Order a Mickey-shaped cake at your restaurant reservation, pick up a complimentary celebration button from guest services, or have friends sing quietly. Keep the horns for the parking lot after you leave. Number 8. Scattering ashes of loved ones. This might be the strangest and most emotional rule on our list. Some Disney fans love the park so much that their families choose to scatter their ashes on rides or in flower beds. Unfortunately for them, this practice is strictly forbidden. Science Alert reports that Disney staff have a special code, HEPA cleanup, for vacuuming up cremains, and that a Disney spokesperson said that scattering ashes is strictly prohibited and unlawful, with guests escorted off property if they try. Smarter Travel similarly noted that there's no afterlife lifetime park pass, and that guests still attempt to smuggle ashes into the Haunted Mansion. If you are seeking a memorial experience, consider visiting the park and simply sharing stories about your loved one. There are also companies that turn ashes into jewelry or plantable trees. Scattering them at Disney could lead to a trespass notice and ruin your day. Number 9. Feeding or petting wild animals. Disney's wildlife seems friendly, especially the adorable ducks waddling through Magic Kingdom, but hands off. Feeding, touching, harassing, or harming any wildlife is strictly prohibited. It's tempting to share your popcorn with a passing squirrel, but doing so can result in a reprimand or removal from the park. Animals at Disney are part of the carefully managed environment. Feeding them can make them dependent on human food and disrupt their behavior. I once watched a child try to chase an egret at Animal Kingdom. Within seconds, a cast member reminded the family of the rules. If you'd like to interact with animals safely, head to Rafiki's Planet Watch in Animal Kingdom, where you can pet goats and learn about conservation. Otherwise, admire wildlife from a distance and leave the snacks to the humans. Number 10. Climbing the landscape or abandoning ride vehicles. Next up, your inner adventurer might get you in trouble. Disney meticulously designs rock formations, flower beds, and sets to look inviting, but many of these are off limits. The Disney food blog stresses that climbing on the landscape or going places you shouldn't, such as rock walls, fountains, or unauthorized areas, can get you kicked out. Similarly, jumping out of a ride vehicle, trying to walk along the track, or leaving the designated queue is not only dangerous, but will lead to a swift removal. Every attraction has strict safety procedures, and leaving your seats can trigger a ride stop. If you need to exit due to an emergency, raise your hand and wait for cast members to assist you. Resist the urge to take daredevil selfies in restricted zones. It's not worth losing your park privileges. You might think the list of ways to get kicked out is winding down, but the next rule is one I see broken every single day. Get ready to have your favorite park day hack canceled, because this surprisingly common mistake will get you swiftly removed. Number 11. Selling your own goods or soliciting. Thinking of setting up shop on Main Street to sell your handmade Mickey ears or custom vacation tees? You'd better think again. Disney has a rock-solid zero-tolerance policy against the sale of any goods or services, the distribution of printed or recorded materials, and any unauthorized solicitations on their property. The experts at the Disney Food Blog frequently reiterate that you simply cannot use the parks as your own personal storefront. Disney views its theme parks as curated private spaces that are meant to be entirely free of outside commercial noise. The rule doesn't just apply to physical products either. It includes everything from busking for tips to handing out flyers for your local business. Even guerrilla marketing tactics like wearing a shirt with your business URL to film a promotional video can get you flagged by security. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, it's best to keep your hustle online or well outside the park boundaries. On a personal note, I once saw a guest handing out business cards for a travel agency while waiting at the Haunted Mansion queue. It didn't take long for security to intervene and politely but firmly escort them toward the exit. The Disney bubble is designed to be an escape from the real world, so save the networking and the side hustle for after your vacation is over. Number 12. Line jumping and holding spots. Cutting lines is universally hated, and Disney treats it seriously. Although the property rules don't list it explicitly, line jumping falls under the general prohibition against unsafe acts and impeding operations. In 2024, Disney quietly updated its policy to state that holding a place in line for others counts as line skipping. Many websites reported on this update, and cast members at attractions will now ask you to move to the back if your party isn't fully present. I've seen families ejected from queues after repeatedly letting 10 people join them. If someone needs to use the restroom, have them rejoin quickly and ask a cast member for guidance. Use tools like Lightning Lane or Single Rider to reduce your wait times legitimately. Respect the line, and the magic will flow more smoothly for everyone. Number 13. Smoking and the substance ban. It might seem obvious, but it's worth a serious warning. Using marijuana or illegal substances is strictly forbidden anywhere on Disney property. Even if you have a medical card or it's legal in your home state, Disney follows federal guidelines and has a zero-tolerance policy. This includes CBD oils and edibles, which security can and will confiscate at the gate. I'm sorry I laughed at that, but Anyway, when it comes to tobacco, e-cigarettes, and vapes, the rules are just as tight. Since 2019, Disney has completely removed all smoking areas from inside the parks. Now, if you need a break, you'll have to exit the gates entirely to use the designated zones near the entrance. I've personally witnessed guests try to sneak a quick puff from a vape in a quiet corner of Adventureland, only to be spotted by security and promptly escorted out. If you're a smoker, save yourself the trouble, plan your breaks for outside the turnstiles, and keep the magic smoke-free. Number 14. Offensive clothing and visible tattoos. Disney strives to maintain a family-friendly environment, and that includes what people wear. The rule states that proper attire, including shoes and shirts, must be worn at all times, and Disney reserves the right to deny admission or remove any person wearing attire considered inappropriate. Clothing with multiple layers may be subject to search, and visible tattoos containing objectionable language or designs are not permitted. I once saw a guest wearing a t-shirt with explicit language get asked to flip it inside out or purchase a replacement. If you're unsure whether an outfit is suitable, err on the side of conservative. Wear comfortable shoes, flip-flops are allowed but not recommended for walking, and avoid anything that drags or could be interpreted as gang-related or offensive. It's about keeping the magic welcoming for everyone. Number 15. Heelys, skateboards, and other rolling no-nos. Here's a quirky one that might give you some early 2000s nostalgia. Those wheeled sneakers known as Heelys are a major no-go at Disney. I didn't know people still wore those. Under the official prohibited items list, the resort specifically forbids the use of shoes with built-in wheels, alongside skateboards, scooters, inline skates, and even remote-control toys. While it might sound like Disney is just being a buzzkill, these items are classified as recreational transport devices that pose a massive safety risk on congested walkways. The official rule states that these shoes are only banned while the wheels are being used, but don't take that as a loophole. Travel writers and frequent guests have noted that if security catches you with the wheels installed, even if you're just walking, they may ask you to remove the wheels entirely or leave the park to change. It's simply too much of a liability for them to track whether you're gliding through a crowd or walking normally. I've seen kids try to stealth roll through Fantasyland, only to be stopped by a cast member within minutes. The pavement in the parks is often uneven, and with thousands of people moving in every direction, a single slip-up could easily cause a multi-person pileup. Do yourself a favor, leave the wheels and the skateboards in the hotel room. Opt for a high-quality pair of supportive walking shoes instead. Your ankles and the people around you and your entire vacation will definitely thank you for it. So, which rule surprised you the most? Have you ever seen someone escorted out of the parks? Let us know in the comments, and if you found this insider guide helpful, smash that like button, share it with your fellow Disney fans, and subscribe for more adventures. Don't forget to click on the next video on your screen. We're diving into the best hidden gems and secrets you need to experience on your next visit. Your adventure is just beginning.